Respect was invented to cover the empty place where love should be. Only people who are capable of loving strongly can also suffer great sorrow, but this same necessity of loving serves to counteract their grief and heals them. He stepped down, trying not to look long at her, as if she were the sun, yet he saw her like the sun, even without looking. All happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. If you look for perfection, you'll never be content. I think, if it is true that there are as many minds as there are heads, then there are as many kinds of love as there are hearts. A man is like a fraction, whose numerator is what he is, and whose denominator is what he thinks of himself. The larger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. We can know only that we know nothing, and that is the highest degree of human wisdom. Spring is the time of plans and projects. If you want to be happy, be. In the name of God, stop a moment, cease your work, look around you. Nothing is so necessary for a young man as the company of intelligent women. When you love someone, you love the person as they are, and not as you'd like them to be. Is it really possible to tell someone else what one feels? Rummaging in our souls, we often dig up something that ought to have lain there unnoticed. Love, the reason I dislike that word is that it means too much for me, far more than you can understand. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. Be bad, but at least don't be a liar, a deceiver. Wrong does not cease to be wrong, because the majority share in it. I've always loved you, and when you love someone, you love the whole person, just as he or she is, and not as you would like them to be. All the variety, all the charm, all the beauty of life is made up of light and shadow. Anything is better than lies and deceit. A man can live and be healthy without killing animals for food. Therefore, if he eats meat, he participates in taking animal life merely for the sake of his appetite, and to act so is immoral. If everyone fought for their own convictions, there would be no war. Sometimes she did not know what she feared, what she desired, whether she feared or desired what had been, or what would be, and precisely what she desired, she did not know. The strongest of warriors are these two, time and patience. Happiness does not depend on outward things, but on the way we see them. There is no greatness where there is not simplicity, goodness, and truth. All great literature is one of two stories. A man goes on a journey or a stranger comes to town. Happiness does not depend on outward things, but on the way we see them. The best stories don't come from good versus bad, but good versus good. They've got no idea what happiness is. They don't know that without this love, there is no happiness, or unhappiness. For us, there is no life. It's much better to do good in a way that no one knows anything about it. Pierre was right when he said that one must believe in the possibility of happiness in order to be happy, and I now believe in it. Let the dead bury the dead, but while I'm alive, I must live and be happy. You can love a person dear to you with a human love, but an enemy can only be loved with divine love. It's hard to love a woman and do anything. It's not given to people to judge what's right or wrong. People have eternally been mistaken, and will be mistaken, and in nothing more than in what they consider right and wrong. I often think that men don't understand what is noble and what is ignorant, though they always talk about it. But the law of loving others could not be discovered by reason, because it is unreasonable. The whole world is divided for me into two parts. One is she, and there is all happiness, hope, light. The other is where she is not, and there is dejection and darkness. He felt now that he was not simply close to her, but that he did not know where he ended and she began. What counts in making a happy marriage is not so much how compatible you are, but how you deal with incompatibility. Something magical has happened to me, like a dream when one feels frightened and creepy, and suddenly wakes up to the knowledge that no such terrors exist. I have wakened up. Seize the moments of happiness, love and be loved. That is the only reality in the world. All else is folly. It is the one thing we are interested in here.